It's a question most men don't ask out loud. You wake up one morning, maybe in your 50s or 60s, and something feels off. The energy you used to take for granted isn't there. The confidence you once had in the bedroom feels like a distant memory. Maybe you've noticed your morning erections aren't as consistent, or intimacy with your partner isn't what it used to be. You shrug it off aging, right? But what if I told you that some of the simplest things you do every day, things you'd never suspect, could be silently chipping away at your vitality? And what if fixing them could bring back the spark you thought was gone? I'm Dr. Sofia Carter, a urologist who's spent over 20 years helping men just like you. Men over 50 who want to feel strong, confident, and alive again. I've sat across from countless guys in my office. Men who felt frustrated, embarrassed, or just plain tired of feeling less than. And here's what I've learned: your body isn't betraying you. It's just trying to tell you something. Those little habits, the tight briefs you've worn for years, the hours spent sitting at your desk. Even that nightly glass of whiskey might be doing more harm than you realize. But the good news, you can turn it around. And it's easier than you think. Let me take you through a journey, one that starts with understanding what's going wrong and ends with practical, science-backed steps to reclaim your health, your confidence, and your connection with your partner. This isn't about quick fixes or magic pills. It's about small, intentional changes that add up to a life-changing difference. Let's start with a story that might sound familiar. A quiet wake-up call. Meet John, a 58-year-old accountant who came to my office last year. John was the kind of guy who seemed to have it all together: successful career, loving wife, active lifestyle. But he confided in me with a sheepish grin. "Doc, I don't feel like myself anymore. I'm tired all the time, and, well, things downstairs aren't working like they used to." He'd noticed his morning erections had all but disappeared, and intimacy with his wife felt like a chore. He blamed age, stress, maybe even his marriage. But when we dug deeper, we found the real culprits: a few daily habits he'd never questioned. John's story isn't unique. I hear versions of it every week. And the truth is, your body is a lot like a finely tuned engine. It runs beautifully when you care for it. But neglect the small things, and it starts to sputter. Let's talk about some of those small things and how to fix them. The underwear trap. Are you suffocating your vitality? Picture this: you slip on your favorite pair of snug briefs in the morning. They feel secure, supportive, maybe even stylish. But by the end of the day, those briefs could be doing more harm than good. Tight underwear, especially when worn all day, compresses the delicate blood vessels in your groin and traps heat around your penis and testicles. Your body needs that area to stay cooler than your core, about 2-3 degrees cooler, to be exact. Why? Because that lower temperature is critical for testosterone production, sperm health, and erectile function. When heat gets trapped, testosterone levels can dip, sperm quality suffers. And over time, you might notice your erections aren't as firm. It's not immediate, you won't feel it after one day. But years of this can quietly erode your vitality. I saw this with John. He'd been wearing tight compression shorts for years, thinking they were helping his workouts. But when we switched him to loose, breathable cotton boxers and encouraged him to go underwear-free at night, he noticed a difference in just a few weeks. "It's like my body could finally breathe," he told me. Try this: swap tight briefs for loose cotton boxers during the day, and let your body breathe at night by sleeping without underwear. It's a small change, but it's like taking your foot out of a tight boot after a long hike. Your body will thank you. The sitting trap is your chair, stealing your strength. Now, let's talk about something most of us do without thinking: sitting. If you're like many men over 50, you might spend hours at a desk, in a car, or on the couch. Maybe you're slouched forward, hips tight, Spine compressed. That position isn't just bad for your back, it's a silent killer for your pelvic health. Sitting for long periods puts pressure on the nerves and blood vessels in your pelvic floor, the muscles that support your bladder, bowel, and yes, your erections. Poor circulation from sitting can make your legs feel heavy, your back ache, and over time, it can weaken the blood flow needed for strong erections. Studies show that men who sit for more than 5 to 6 hours a day without breaks are at higher risk for erectile dysfunction. John was a classic case. He spent 8 hours a day at his desk, barely moving. When we got him into a routine of standing up every hour, doing a quick hip stretch, and taking a 5-minute walk, he felt a shift. "I didn't realize how sluggish I'd gotten," he said. "Now I feel lighter, sharper." Try this. Set a timer to stand up every hour, stretch your hips by gently rotating them, or do a quick walk around your office or living room. These breaks boost blood flow and keep your pelvic muscles happy. Think of it as tuning up your engine. The morning signal. You can't ignore. Let's get real for a moment. Morning erections, often called morning wood, aren't just a quirky part of being a man. They're a vital sign of your health. When you wake up firm, it's your body's way of saying, "Hey, everything's working." It means your testosterone levels are balanced, your blood flow is strong, and your nervous system is firing on all cylinders. But if those morning moments are fading or gone, it's not something to brush off. A 2018 study in the Journal of Sexual Medicine found that declining morning erections can be an early warning sign of circulation issues, low testosterone, or even stress-related hormonal imbalances. For John, the absence of morning erections was his first clue. Something was off. He'd chalked it up to age, but we found his sleep was disrupted by late-night screen time and a high-stress job. When he started prioritizing better sleep-dimming lights, avoiding screens before bed, and practicing a 5-minute breathing exercise, he noticed those morning signals return within a month. Try this. Pay attention to your morning erections. If they're less frequent, check your sleep habits, stress levels, or even medications. And don't be afraid to talk to a doctor. It's a sign, not a sentence. Have you noticed changes like this in your own life? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear how you're navigating this. The overstimulation trap, when your brain needs a break. This one's a bit sensitive, but let's talk about it openly. Watching adult content is common, and I'm not here to judge, but when it becomes a habit fast, intense, and disconnected from real intimacy, it can rewire your brain in ways you don't expect. Your brain's reward system, driven by dopamine, gets used to constant novelty. Over time, it takes more to get the same excitement and real-world intimacy, which is slower and more human, can feel flat. I worked with a patient, Mark, a 55-year-old teacher, who was shocked to learn his nightly habit of scrolling adult sites was affecting his marriage. "I thought it was harmless," he said, "but I couldn't get aroused with my wife anymore." The science backs this up. Excessive exposure to high-stimulation content can desensitize dopamine receptors, making it harder to enjoy real intimacy. The fix: Mark took a 2-week break from adult content, focusing instead on physical touch with his partner, holding hands, hugging, slowing down. By the end of the month, he felt more connected and present. Try this. Take a 7 to 14-day break from adult content. Focus on real sensations, maybe a warm shower, a walk in nature, or slow moments with your partner. Your brain will start to reset, and intimacy will feel richer. The recovery gap. Why what you do after matters. Ejaculation isn't just a moment, it's a full-body event. Your heart races, your pelvic muscles contract, your brain floods with chemicals. But what you do afterward matters just as much. If you roll over, grab your phone, or fall asleep without a moment to breathe, you're leaving your body in a state of tension. Over time, this can lead to pelvic discomfort, inflammation, or even weaker erections. A 2020 study in urology highlighted that post-ejaculation recovery routines, like gentle movement or deep breathing, can reduce pelvic floor strain and improve blood flow. For John, this was a game changer. He started taking 2 minutes after intimacy to stand, breathe deeply, and do a gentle hip sway. It's weird at first, he laughed, but I feel so much better after. Try this. After intimacy, take a moment to breathe deeply, stand up, and move gently for a minute or two. It's like a cool down after a workout, helping your body reset. The hidden cost of just one drink. That nightly glass of wine or occasional cigarette might feel like no big deal, but they add up. Alcohol, even in small amounts, lowers testosterone and dehydrates your body, dulling your nervous system's response. Smoking, even just one cigarette, constricts blood vessels and reduces nitric oxide, a key player in strong erections. A 2019 study in andrology found that men who reduced alcohol and quit smoking saw a 20–30% improvement in erectile function within 6 months. Mark, my patient, loved his evening whiskey. When he cut back to 1 drink a week and replaced it with herbal tea or a walk, he was stunned. I didn't realize how much it was dragging me down. He said his energy, mood, and performance all improved. Try this. Cut back on alcohol or smoking for just 1 month. Replace them with a healthier habit, like drinking water with lemon or taking a 10-minute walk. You'll likely feel the difference sooner than you expect. The silent struggle. Why you need to speak up. Here's the hardest truth too many men suffer in silence. Changes in your drive, sensitivity, or performance can feel embarrassing, like a failure you're supposed to hide. But your body isn't failing you, it's talking to you. Ignoring those signals, whether it's weaker erections or lower energy, only delays the fix. A 2021 survey by the American Urological Association found that 60% of men over 50 delay seeking help for sexual health issues, often for years. I've seen this in my practice. Men like John or Mark often wait until the problem feels unbearable before speaking up. But when they do, the solution's a blood test, a lifestyle tweak, a conversation can be surprisingly simple. You don't have to go it alone. A urologist, or even a trusted doctor, can help you find answers without judgment. Try this. If you've noticed changes, start by observing your habits, sleep, diet, stress. Then, take the brave step of talking to a professional. It's not weakness, it's strength. The pill trap. Why quick fixes aren't enough. It's tempting to reach for a pill when things aren't working. And sometimes, those pills help, but they're not a cure, they're a bandage. If you rely on them without addressing the root causes, poor diet, lack of movement, stress, they lose effectiveness over time. Worse, you might need higher doses or face side effects like headaches or dizziness. The science is clear. Erectile dysfunction is often a symptom of deeper issues, like poor circulation or inflammation. A 2022 study in The Lancet showed that lifestyle changes, like better diet and exercise, improved erectile function in 40% of men without medication. John learned this the hard way. Pills helped at first, but when he started walking daily, eating more vegetables, and sleeping better, he needed them less and less. Try this. Focus on the basics. Eat a colorful plate of vegetables. Walk 20 minutes a day. Prioritize sleep. These build the foundation that makes any medication work better or makes it unnecessary. The power of your pelvic floor. Your pelvic floor is like the hidden engine of your intimate health. These muscles support your bladder, bowel, and sexual performance, but they weaken with age, especially if you're sedentary. Strengthening them can improve control, sensation, and even confidence. A 2020 study in BJU International found that pelvic floor exercises improved erectile function in 75% of men after 12 weeks. Try this simple exercise. Inhale deeply, and as you exhale, gently lift the muscles you'd use to stop urinating. Hold for 3 seconds, then release. Do this 10 times a day. Anywhere sitting at your desk, watching TV. It's subtle, but powerful. It's never too late. The biggest lie you might believe is that it's too late. That after 50, 60, or 70, your best years are behind you. But I've seen men in their 70s rediscover their vitality with small, consistent changes. Your body is resilient. Your blood vessels can heal. Your hormones can balance. And your confidence can return. It starts with one choice, maybe a walk today, a lighter meal, or a conversation with your doctor. John's story proves it. After 6 months of small changes, looser underwear, daily walks, better sleep, and one honest talk with me, he felt like a new man. "I wish I'd started sooner," he said. "But I'm so glad I didn't give up." You're not too late. You're right on time. And your next chapter can be your strongest. Want more tips like these to reclaim your vitality? Subscribe for weekly health insights delivered straight to your inbox.